While the Celtics trying to wrap up their series with the Sixers, if you can read, you can tell that didn't happen as the Sixers stay alive. Spoiler alert, Boston up 3-1 coming in on the parquet. You figured out this is going to be their night. Nikola Vucevic driving and throwing that on Kelly Oubre Jr. Trying to KO. Vooch puts the Celtics up by 4. Yeah, they do enjoy that over there on the bench. And then up top, and then swing it to Jason Tatum. 24 points, 16 rebounds for Tatum. Celtics up 7. The Jays getting into the act. JB Brown with the 3-ball. Celtics up 7 at the half. You figure they close it out in half 2, but Philly had other ideas. This team showing its mettle. Paul George stepping into a 3. Sixers get their first lead, 88-86. George had 4 triples. Joel Embiid, the Quentin Grimes. 18 off the bench in just 24 minutes for Grimes. Huge boost for the Sixers. But Embiid was the story. 33 points in his second game back from the appendectomy. Sixers up 8, and then Tyrese Maxey working. Step back, he had 25. Philly goes up by 12. And with 2.5 to go, DJ Edgecombe, the rookie, hitting a 3-ball. Boston only scored 11 in the fourth, their lowest output in any quarter of the season. Sixers win by 16 to force a Game 6 back in Philly.
You know, using this game, last game, to kind of get back into it. I found my rhythm in the second half, so we adjusted some stuff at halftime. But I feel okay. I feel good. We got to win. That's all that matters.
Not necessarily that desperation, but just we played a little bit more free, understanding that it's all we got is this game, and we're one game at a time. And if we lose, we're going home. So just leave it on the floor, play hard, see where that gets us.
Iman Shumpert just said the Celtics should fear a healthy Joel Embiid after the Sixers forced a Game 6 against Boston. And I need to stop you right there, Iman. Because with all due respect to your championship pedigree and your defensive reputation, you are completely wrong on this one. The Celtics should not fear Joel Embiid. They have never feared Joel Embiid. And one game where Embiid scored 33 points and the Celtics forgot how to play offense in the fourth quarter does not change that. Let me break this down for you because nobody else will. The first 2 minutes of this video show the highlights from Game 5. Embiid had 33 points. Quentin Grimes had 18 off the bench. Tyrese Maxey had 25. The Sixers forced a Game 6 after the Celtics only scored 11 points in the fourth quarter. 11 points. That is the lowest output in any quarter for the Celtics all season. And Shumpert comes on and says the Celtics should fear Embiid now that he is healthy. But here is what Shumpert is not saying. Embiid has been healthy before. He has been the MVP. He has been dominant in the regular season. And what has it gotten him? He has never made it past the second round of the playoffs. Never. Not once. Shumpert was a great defender. He won a championship with the Cleveland Cavaliers. He guarded some of the best players in the world. So his opinion carries weight. But on this topic, he is letting one game cloud his judgment. Because the reality is that Embiid has a long history of coming up short in the playoffs. He has a long history of getting hurt. He has a long history of the Sixers collapsing when it matters most. And one 33-point game in a loss where the Celtics still lead the series 3-2 does not erase that history. Let me talk about what Embiid actually did in this game. He scored 33 points. Great. He is supposed to score 33 points. He is the MVP. But here is what the analysts pointed out. In the first half, the Celtics were moving Embiid around. They were putting him in pick and roll. They were making him defend in space. And he struggled. The Celtics went into halftime with a lead. Then in the second half, the Celtics stopped moving him. They stopped putting him in actions. They played hero ball. They dribbled, and then set a screen while Embiid just sat in drop coverage. And that is the Celtics' fault. That is not Embiid being unstoppable. That is the Celtics being stupid. The analysts even said it themselves. One of them said, "We have to move Embiid." We did not do that. Dribble, set a screen and be standing there and he is just chilling in drop coverage. That is execution. That is game plan. That is not fear. If the Celtics move Embiid around in Game 6 like they did in the first half of Game 5, he becomes a liability. Because Embiid cannot guard in space. He cannot recover after being put in 2 or 3 actions. He is 280 pounds coming off an appendectomy. His conditioning is not where it may. DS to be. And the Celtics have the personnel to exploit that. They have Jason Tatum. They have Jaylen Brown. They have Derek White. They have Drew Holiday. They have shooters and ball handlers and playmakers. If they run Embiid through screens for 48 minutes, he will be exhausted by the fourth quarter. And when he is exhausted, he is not dominant. He is a statue. Shumpert also praised Tyrese Maxey in this game. And Maxey was good. He had 25 points. He was efficient. He kept attacking. But here is the thing. Maxey is great. He is a star. But he cannot beat the Celtics by himself. And Embiid has never been able to beat the Celtics by himself either. In fact, Embiid has a losing record against the Celtics in his career. In the playoffs, the Celtics have knocked out the Sixers multiple times. They have Embiid's number. They know how to frustrate him. They know how to make him settle for jump shots. They know how to take away his space. And they have done it before. So why should they fear him now? Because he had one good game. Because the Celtics had one terrible quarter? That is not fear. That is a wake-up call. The analysts also talked about the Celtics' response. They said the most important thing is how they come out in Game 6. Do they respond? Do they play with force? Do they move the ball? And I think they will. Because this Celtics team has been here before. They have lost games they should have won. They have blown leads. They have had terrible quarters. And they have. He always bounce back. Jason Tatum has scored 40-plus points in elimination games on the road. Jaylen Brown has risen to the occasion in big moments. Derek White and Drew Holiday are veterans who have won championships. This team is not going to panic because of one bad quarter. Shumpert said the Celtics should fear Embiid. But I think the Sixers should fear the Celtics. Because the Celtics are still the better team. The Celtics are still up 3-2. The Celtics still have 2 chances to win one game. And the Celtics still have home court advantage if it goes to Game 7. Joel Embiid has never won a Game 7 in his career. Never. So if the Sixers win Game 6 at home and force a Game 7 in Boston, all the pressure is on Philadelphia. All the history is against Embiid. And the Celtics get to play in front of their home crowd with the season on the line. That is not a position of fear. That is a position of advantage. The analysts also talked about Jaylen Brown's offensive fouls. They said he has been called for 6 of them in the series. The same exact move he has been doing all season. Driving, using his shoulder, using a little bit of arm. And now the referees are calling it. That is a problem. That is an adjustment Brown has to make. But it is not an insurmountable problem. Brown is a smart player. He will figure it out. He will adjust. And when he does, the Celtics' offense becomes much harder to stop. Shumpert also said something interesting about the Celtics' mentality. He said they get affected by making and missing shots. He said that has been their MO all season. And he is right. The Celtics do get flat when shots are not falling. They do lose their energy. They do stop defending. That is a flaw. That is something they need to fix. But it is not a fatal flaw. Because when the Celtics are locked in, when they are moving the ball and playing with force, they are the best team in the Eastern Conference. They have proven that all season. They have proven it in this series. They won 3 games. They blew out the Sixers in Game 4. They were up 13 points in Game 5 before they fell apart. The talent is there. The coaching is there. The experience is there. They just need to execute. And I believe they will. So here is what I want you to take away from this video. Iman Shumpert is a legend. He won a ring. He guarded LeBron James in his prime. He knows what he is talking about. But on this one, he is wrong. The Celtics should not fear Joel Embiid. They should respect him. They should game plan for him. They should make adjustments. But fear? No. Fear is for teams that have never beaten Embiid. Fear is for teams that do not have the talent or the coaching or the experience to compete. The Celtics have all of those things. They have beaten Embiid before. They will beat him again. Game 6 in Philadelphia. The Celtics are going to come out focused. They are going to move the ball. They are going to move Embiid around on defense. They are going to make Maxey work on both ends. They are going to get stops. and they are going to close this series out. And then we can stop talking about fear and start talking about the second round. Subscribe to the channel if you want real playoff analysis. Not the hot takes. Not the overreactions. Not the fear-mongering. Just the truth about who is really in control. And comment below. Should the Celtics fear a healthy Embiid, or am I right that Shumpert is overreacting to one game? I read every single comment. Now let me know your thoughts and get ready for Game 6.